Welcome to SRC University, your source for retirement education. Today's topic is a very important one. In fact, it's the foundation of our practice. It's all about the power of income in retirement, how income improves people's outcome. SRC University is something we created to provide retirement education. We offer a series of 30-minute sessions, each of these on a different topic, and they're available on your schedule. We record them so that you can go to our website, srctexas.com, and view them at your leisure. They explain topics in our book, More Money for Retirement. It's about a 1-hour read, and it covers a variety of topics that affect us as we move our way through retirement. And our goal is always create a safe, secure retirement for the families we work with. Best of all, there's no final exam. So where does Senior Resource Center fit in? We help in 4 distinct areas. We provide comprehensive retirement planning services so that our clients don't run out of money before they run out of time. We offer tax planning, not tax preparation, and the goal there is to pay less income, sales, and property tax. We use legal methods to do that. The third area is long-term care planning. And in that area, it's very simple. Help our clients preserve assets and avoid the catastrophic cost of paying for an extended long-term care stay. Finally, we're involved in estate planning. And in simple terms, that sounds fancy, but in simple terms, that means passing assets probate-free to the next generation, hopefully in a private way. So what's the challenge that we all are dealing with it? And basically, it's we as a people are living much, much longer. If you go back, if you ever Google how long did people live in the Stone Age, or in Roman times, or in medieval times, or even as late as 1900, you'll find out the average life expectancy was around 30 years. But starting around 1900, life expectancy has expanded dramatically because of modern medicine. And what this means to all of us is our money must last longer because we're going to last longer, and we have to avoid a gauntlet of risks. If you're 65 today, while the average life expectancy if you're born today is 78, if you're already 65, men can, on average, expect to live another 18 years, or to average age of 83. Women can expect to live another 20 years, or to age 85. But these are averages, which means many of our clients are going to live into their late 80s, 90s, maybe well past 100. So we have to plan ahead for a long life. And along that road, along with longevity, comes a whole series of risks that we face as we get older. Inflation, we've just gone through a round of inflation in 2022 and early 2023, where prices skyrocketed. Taxes are always a problem. That's something we have to pay every year, and they're expected to go up in 2026. Stock market corrections, that can be a problem. Paying fees over an extended period of time to have your money managed, that can be expensive. I have GM, Enron, Lehman Brothers up on our screen because these were 3 companies that were considered pillars of the American economy. GM went through bankruptcy, Enron went through bankruptcy, and Lehman Brothers, they're gone altogether. So sometimes the entities that we count on are not as stable and as long-lasting as we think. Finally, we look at things like Social Security and Medicare. You may have heard that these programs are underfunded, and that's correct. If Congress doesn't take appropriate action, we could see a cut in benefits. Another issue that most of us are going to face is long-term care. It's kind of the big elephant in the room. We don't want to think about it, but when a long-term care event occurs, it can be financially and emotionally devastating. So all of these are things we need to plan ahead for. Now, today's topics, I want to address a number of issues. We'll start out by comparing advisors and planners that offer financial advice. We'll talk about a period of time in our country's history, I call it Camelot, when things were a lot simpler. We'll talk about research on measuring the impact of income on people's retirement savings. And then we'll talk about some strategies to maximize Social Security and to create additional income to provide peace of mind in retirement. So let's first look. Most people have a guide, a financial guide that helps them make financial decisions. It might be picking a Medicare supplement or Advantage plan, or it might be picking a stock, bond, mutual fund, CD, annuity, something to invest in. Financial advisors are focused on offering products. They know you have issues or there's an issue they're trying to resolve, and so they generate or they find and identify products to address the need that you have. Their focus is telling you where you're at and how to address current problems. On the other side of the fence, we have financial planners, and this is where we spend more of our time. The difference is a financial advisor can tell you where you're at today. A financial planner, their mission is different. We have to be able to look into the future and tell our clients where they will be financially 10, 15, 20, maybe even 30 years into the future. Now, why is this a problem? Because many people that come to see us go, Bill, I'm worried about outliving my savings, where if I deplete that, now I'm living on Social Security. That doesn't feel too good. So we spend a great amount of time building financial models that help our clients understand the impact of spending, taxes, and inflation on their financial future. So let's take another way of looking at this. As I mentioned, advisors typically focus on products. And if you think back over the last 20, 30, 40 years, what is the financial industry focused on? Pretty much asset growth. The notion that you build up a nest egg, and then when you retire, they give you the gold watch, and you take your 401k or IRA, and that money has to last you throughout retirement. You're going to draw down against it. Well, on the right side, you see a different strategy that's been emerging over the last 10 years. And we're part of a new breed of financial advisors that are focused more on guaranteed income, where you create income sources that you can't outlive. We're not opposed to asset growth, but we also like to complement and give people peace of mind by knowing they'll have income coming in just like when they were working. So let's kind of roll the clock back to the 1950s, 60s, and early 70s. What did our grandparents have back in those days that we don't have today? The answer is very simple. They had two sources of income: tax-free Social Security income, that was pretty nice, and lifetime pensions from an employer. If you worked for a number of years for a company, usually you left with the gold watch and a lifetime pension, a source of income you can't outlive. Well, what's happened to Camelot? A lot. Starting in the early 80s, the government realized Social Security was underfunded. So under President Reagan, up to 50% of our Social Security income became taxable. President Clinton did it one better. In 1993, he increased the percentage to 85%. So President Roosevelt's promise of tax-free Social Security income back in the 1930s and 40s and 50s is now long gone. What also changed was that companies that offered pensions realized that their employees, after they retired, were living a lot longer. Maybe you've heard the term underfunded pension plan. Well, that's because the pension plans were built on actuarial projections, how long we're going to live. And they assumed somebody would retire and maybe draw benefits for 8 or 10 or 12 years and then die. But people aren't dying in 8 or 10 or 12 years. They're living much longer. Well, as 401k, as pensions became more difficult to maintain and support, companies realized, hey, we need to get out of the pension business. We're going to offer instead a 401k. What is that? Well, it's a fund that you contribute to while you're working. Your employer often adds money to it. And then when you retire, you don't have a lifetime pension. You've got a bucket of money that you start drawing against. And the problem is that now the pension company is not on the hook to pay as long as you live. Now it's up to the pensioner, or not the pensioner, the employee who's retired, to make sure their 401k lasts as long as they do. Well, that was a difficult change. And our goal in our practice is trying to reestablish Camelot. We try to help our clients create the same sense of peace of mind that they had when they were working. If you have income coming in every month while you're working, you feel good. And the same is true in retirement. If you have enough income coming in to cover your expenses, just like when you were working, do you really care what happens in the stock market or with interest rates? You have your lifestyle essentially built in with a foundation of guaranteed lifetime income. If you compare retirement kind of to a house, I always ask the question, what's the foundation of a good house? Well, what's the foundation of retirement? And in our world, the foundation is guaranteed lifetime income, something that you can create, that can't change, that can't be reduced. It's something that'll be there, just like the pensions that our grandparents had, as long as you live. Thinking of retirement another way, if you have a house with a poor foundation, bad things can happen. And the same thing is true in retirement. If all of your money is invested in investments that are subject to stock market corrections, fees, and other things, you can end up drawing down against your retirement savings to a point where life is a lot less enjoyable because you're living on Social Security alone. So the title of our talk today was The Power of Income, and we have a very simple strategy we share with people. As we've been building financial models the last 10 or 12 or 14 years, we've continued to see that people with more guaranteed income have better financial and emotional outcomes. Sometimes people ask us, well, Bill, that sounds great, but has the industry done any analysis? Has anybody studied income to see what its impact is on people's retirement? And recently, there's been a lot of research. In 2019, the Principal Financial Group hired 2 PhDs from the American College, Michael Finke and Wade Pfau. These are pretty smart guys. They gave them a bucket of money and said, tell us how income affects people in retirement. And they did a lot of number crunching, and the outcome is they wanted to measure how income improves outcomes and how it affects the confidence or the emotional state of mind of people in retirement. These are some words from their final report. The research revealed how retirees can use guaranteed income annuities to not only improve their financial outcomes, but also to increase confidence and reduce stress in retirement. Our clients have the knowledge they can spend more in retirement without worrying about running out of money. And they also have the knowledge, the knowing that they can leave the legacy to the heirs that they want to leave. So when we build financial models, yes, we use powerful computers that compute taxes and inflation and a lot of other contributing factors. But really, we bring it down to a simple 3-step process. We calculate an expense budget to support your lifestyle. How much do you need each month to live comfortably? We're going to index that number for inflation because we know over time expenses get more expensive. We then we look at ways to maximize Social Security and subtract that from the lifestyle budget. And if there's a shortfall, we use a portion of your savings to create guaranteed lifetime income. So now you're either cash positive or cash neutral. You feel comfortable with being able to spend each month because you know the money's always going to be there. So let's touch on Social Security. We have a webinar that drills down into a lot of detail on Social Security, but to keep it real simple, people can claim as early as age 62, or they can claim at full retirement age, which for many people is age 67, or they can claim as late as age 70. Now, what this chart shows is the cumulative lifetime payout based on when you claim. And what you notice is the later you wait in claiming, the higher the slope of the line, which means The lifetime cumulative payout is increasing faster. And the lines cross right at one single point, age 78. So what this means is people that claim at 62 or 67 or 70 all earn the same amount around age 78. But if you live beyond that, you make more money from Social Security, you receive more because you're drawing a higher benefit. The longer you delay Social Security, the higher the starting benefit. When you index different numbers for a rate of inflation, a bigger number grows faster than a smaller number. What this says is people that can afford to wait later to draw Social Security will get more lifetime income. We spend a lot of time with our clients on claiming strategies. Here's an example. Susan is a client. She came to us. She was 62. Her full retirement age was 67, and the full retirement age benefit was $2,500. She said, Bill, should I start drawing now? Should I wait till full retirement? Or should I wait even longer to age 70? And I said, well, let's run some numbers. We have a powerful calculator that calculates the total cumulative lifetime payout from Social Security based on different scenarios. So let's take a look at three of them. The first one shows Susan claims at age 62. At age 90, she has drawn out a total of $814,000 from Social Security. That's pretty nice. Scenario number two is she waits till age 67. And now the lifetime payout has gone up to $1.7 million. It's gone up $200,000. What if she is able to wait till age 70? Well, she's delayed taking early income, but look at the lifetime payout now. The difference between claiming at 62 and age 70, $309,000 more from Social Security. Many of us are going to live to 90. Would you like to have an extra $309,000? I would. Here's a couple as an example. Roy and Jill, another couple. They were both 64 when they came to see us. Roy's full retirement age benefit was $2,790. Jill's was much lower, $762. We assumed that Roy would live till age 85 and that Jill would outlive him. She'd live to 90. The surviving spouse steps up to the higher of the two. So obviously we want to work with Roy first to delay his benefit to maximize it as much as possible. So here's three scenarios. I said, Roy and Jill, you could both claim today at 64. At age 90, Roy and Jill would have received $1.241 million. That's a nice payday. What if they delay till age 66? Well, the payday goes up from 1.2 million to 1.3. But what if Roy waits till age 70 and Jill claims at 66? They get a little money now, but Roy starts with a much higher benefit. And that's the higher survivorship benefit that Jill steps up to when Roy goes to heaven. Now look what's happened. We've increased the lifetime payout to 1.5 million. It's an extra $272,000. Most of us could use an extra 272. So we want to always maximize Social Security to support an effective retirement plan. The second thing that most people have is most of us have IRAs or 401ks. So the next question is, how do we maximize the payday coming from that retirement account? Well, a little history. They've continued to increase the age from when you have to start taking money out. It's called required minimum distribution. We do another webinar on just maximizing IRA accounts. But let's hit the basics. Now at age 73, you have to start taking RMDs. You have to start taking money out whether you like it or not. You can use part of the IRA to satisfy most or all of the IRA, RMD. I'll explain how this works. And we use lifetime income that increases to also support RMDs. And that allows our clients to convert future income to tax-free income. Let's take a look at a real-life example. Here's an example where we've got an IRA, the same amount on both sides of the ledger. We're going to divide up the IRA into two buckets. I show it at 50-50, but it could be 60-40 or 40-60. Doesn't matter. We have the same amount of money on both sides. So what happens when the owner of the IRA turns 73? They have to start taking money out. Under current rules, it starts out about 3.6%, and the percentage we have to take out annually goes up every year. And most people do annual dipping. Well, is there a smarter way to take and satisfy the RMD? And the answer is we think there is. And we do it by creating a lifetime income stream coming out of the IRA annuity. We turn that on at age 73, taking the same amount out on both sides of the ledger. Now, what happens over time? Well, the percentage we take out of the IRA has to go up because as we age, the amount we have to take out, the percentage does increase. So generally what happens, the IRA value declines. And that's happening on both sides of the page. On the left side, we see the IRA value going down. On the right side, we see the IRA annuity value going down. Remember, though, I said that lifetime income stream increases. So it's keeping up with the RMD amount. Well, if we run this scenario over, say, 10 years, we're eventually going to drain the bucket that started out with the IRA annuity. But that's not all bad news, because remember I said the income stream is lifetime. So now we've paid out everything that we put into that IRA annuity, but the checks keep coming. This is kind of like Social Security. If you draw Social Security for 10 plus years, you've been paid everything you put in and your employer put in, but presto, the checks keep coming. That's pretty neat. The same thing is true with this IRA annuity we set up. It's a lifetime payout. So the money keeps coming even if we drain the bucket. But there's one more thing we can do. Just before that bucket went empty, we converted the IRA to a Roth. And there was only a few dollars left in the bucket. So the tax obligation to convert it to a Roth was minimal. But guess what? Now that increasing lifetime income stream is tax-free. Who would like to get a raise 10, 12, 14 years down the road? I would. And if I don't have to pay it to Uncle Sam, that's more money I get to keep. Let's take a look at an example. Lucy and Bill were our clients of ours. They were both 68. Their budget in retirement was $6,000 monthly, and we expected inflation to average 2.5%. Social Security, Lucy plans to draw at age 68. She's going to get $1,856. Bill's going to wait till 70. He's going to get $3,564. Their savings was about $725,000. Most of it was in Bill's 401k, and we project that that's growing at 5% a year. Bill's longevity is probably not as much as Lucy's. We assume Bill's going to pass at age 83 and that Lucy will live on probably to 100. So that's scenario one. Scenario two that we ran through our financial modeling, we convert a portion of the 401k, $275,000, to an annuity. And the annuity is designed to generate $1,107 of monthly income at age 70. That income stream grows in future years when the stock market is up. So let's see how these two scenarios compare. Under the first one, where they draw against their 401k, based on the budget that they gave us, the income sources from social and the annuity, and we assume Lucy's going to make it to age 100, their life savings have been drawn down to $345,000. Well, how does adding income from an annuity add to the model? If you look at the lower option, the second option, retire at age 70 for Bill and draw income annuity, we've increased the lifetime nest egg to $587,000. We've increased the future net worth that's either available to support lifestyle when Lucy's old or to pass on to kids or grandkids. If you're interested in leaving a legacy, we show our clients how to be able to create more money to leave to the next generation or to grandkids. Most of us want to leave a legacy. So you remember early on, I talked about all of those risk factors that we face as we go into retirement: longevity, possibly outliving our money, inflation, dealing with higher costs, stock market corrections that could be devastating, increasing taxes, long-term care, incur long-term care. We've got to spend our money down. The cost of long-term care keeps rising. Management fees can whittle away in our savings. What if we invest with a company that goes bust? What if Social Security and Medicare are insolvent? And what about probate? All of these are things that can erode our future financial solvency. Well, here's the interesting thing. Income affects positively almost everything on this list. For longevity, we convert some of our savings to lifetime income. We can't outlive it. Inflation, well, let's set up some income streams that continue to increase to offset inflation and maintain our buying power. Stock market corrections, the products we work with never participate in downside market corrections. They grow when the market's up, but they don't participate when the market's down. What about taxes? Well, remember we showed that example of how we converted income coming from an IRA into tax-free Roth income, giving our clients income boost, more income down the road. What about long-term care? This is a big one. You know that we do a lot of Medicaid planning in our practice. We do another webinar just on long-term care planning, that we do several. And one of the things that's nice, if you are a married couple and one of you has to go to a nursing home, the state of Texas looks at all of your combined assets. If you have a 401k or an IRA and it's in a CD or a brokerage account, that's a countable asset. And the state usually wants the couple to spend down at least half, maybe more than half, of their life savings. But just by repositioning IRA funds, 401k funds, into one of those tax-deferred annuities, we exempt all the money. That's pretty sweet. You get to keep your money and yet tap into federal benefits to help pay for long-term care. What if you've turned on income on your annuity and you have a long-term care event? Well, many of the products have what's called an income doubler, where they double the payment for up to 5 years to help defray the cost of long-term care. Once again, income offsetting a risk. Many of the products we have no fees. I'm fee adverse. I don't like fees. You probably don't either. What about company failure? Well, the investments that we help our clients set up are government guaranteed. Let me just leave it at that. If you're invested in General Motors, Enron, or Lehman Brothers, if you own stock in General Motors and they went bankrupt, you lost your stock valuation. But the investments we work with are government guaranteed. What if Social Security becomes insolvent and they have to cut benefits 25% in 2031? What if Medicare is insolvent and the premiums for Medicare B go up significantly? Wouldn't it be nice to have additional income to offset those cuts in either income or higher expenses? And finally, our clients don't want to go through probate, so we make sure that they have beneficiary designations on all of their investments, and that way we avoid probate. In a nutshell, income solves a lot of problems. If this makes sense, income improves your outcome, call us today. Everybody's situation is unique, but we're happy to sit down, talk to you about your specific situation, answer your questions. We'll give you a free copy of our book. You can download it at our website, www.srctexas.com. Or if you'd rather get a written copy, happy to send it to you free of charge. Send an email to Bill, Tara, or Stacy at srctexas.com, and we'll mail you a free copy. Hope you've enjoyed today's talk. Tune in next week. We'll have another topic that'll hopefully be very pertinent to your retirement. Thank you much for listening.